I can't tell you what's going on in this world. Hello. I didn't even know I was live over here. Oh my God, what am I doing? I didn't know I went live, folks. I hit that button accidentally. All right, I apologize. Thank you, everybody, for coming here today. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. You know, folks, everybody's talking about Karmelow Anthony. The young man, one split second, one heart, little second changed his life permanently. Why, how, and so forth. We're going to get into that there. You know, folks, I don't know what's going on in this world, all right, with all these unalivings taking place, people, young people with guns. You know, I went to Rome Free Academy. I went to Laurel Junior High School, all right? And we had fights. I was in a lot of fights. And we had knives. Some of us had knives. but nobody ever unalived anybody. Okay, I was involved in a couple knife fights myself. I got a scar over here to prove it. Okay, all right. December said I'm reading the chart. What chart am I reading? Huh? Hello, Isla. How are you? Okay, everybody, thank you for coming. And as you come in here, please subscribe and like if you enjoy my content. Now, folks, by now I think you all know what happened, how it happened, and so forth. But I'm going to go over it, all right, very briefly, all right. Testimony and police records show that the confrontation between Anthony and Metcalf, who were both 17 at the time, unfolded in minutes under a crowded stadium tent during a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. I never heard of Frisco, Texas. It's a small town, folks. Okay, very small. All right. This operation began because I don't understand track how it works, all right, but each group has their own tent, all right, with their own people under the tent. And Karmelow Anthony went into this tent and he was asked to leave. Okay. And I'll get into Trump too, Minnie. Trump's birthday would be a disaster on Sunday. Oh, okay, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna do a show tomorrow, okay, about people in their 80s, all right, and why I don't think presidents should be in office when they're 80s, all right, why we should not have congressmen and senators in office in their 80s, all right, but that has nothing to do with Carmelo Anthony. Okay, so let's get back to him. Okay, uh, hello, Stacy. Hello, how are you? Hi, who's there? Hi, he still smokes. Yes. Did you see me smoking earlier? Those of you who were here, let me know because I didn't know I started the show. Okay, you saw me. Oh no, Mandy said no. Okay, so I hope it didn't. All right, because I don't know what YouTube does when somebody smoking. Okay. Oh boy, I don't know, folks. I was there. I was thinking what I was going to say and so forth. All right. But anyway, we know how it began, and supposedly Metcalf, all right, pushed Anthony, and then Anthony, boom, with a small knife. But it don't make a difference how big the knife is. You go in and he hit the right part, boom, perfectly, and it killed Metcalf. And his twin brother held him in his arms and tried to stop the bleeding, but he couldn't do it. Okay? So imagine what happened to him. His brother, how his brother got to feel that he lost his brother in a split second. A group of guys go onto the track to have a good time, all right? And this happens. And we're talking about both families. I seen them both on television. I seen Carmelo's family, nice parents. I seen Metcalf's father, who raised the boys. Very nice guy, Christian. He's got no hatred, all right? He's got no hatred at all. What an attitude to have, I gotta tell you. Got no hatred, wants no revenge. doesn't think that like that. He lost his son, and he has to concentrate on his other son. But let's get a little bit in, okay? Quite honestly, the jury found him guilty. Now, depending on who you can watch a lot of different people on YouTube, and some people are trying to make this a racial thing. This has nothing, all right? Nothing at all to do with race. So I think people should forget about that and get it, throw it right out the door. Okay? But there's going to be those like that dog, the guy, the Conrad, what's her name? She's a real moron out of Texas. Okay, and she's a lawyer. What she said, and other people saying nasty things. Okay, that's the world we live in today. All right, all this nasty shit. All right, and I don't like it. All right, this young man, Karmelow Anthony, by a juror of his peers, and they were of his peers. They were jurors from his town. That makes them jurors of his peers. People want to make a big thing that there were no black people on the jury. Look at both the prosecution and the defense, both questioned. There were potential black jurors. They were educators, okay? Educators. They weren't stupid people, but they answered the question very stupidly and honestly. Okay? They said they would find it very difficult for them to find, all right, their brother guilty only because they were black. Okay? They said they would find it very difficult. Well, that's not what the prosecution wants to hear, and that's definitely not what the defense wants to hear. So they were eliminated. Okay? So, before people want to go in and talk about that shit, all right? Thank you, Stacey. I don't look 81. God bless you, kid. Okay? I feel like I'm 101. I'm on this Ozempic, and it's changed me so much you have no idea. I'm one of those people. All right? When they name the side effects, I get almost every one of them. Okay? And but that's another subject. Anyway, hello, Steve Ellis from Australia. We're going to be playing you guys, okay? You're the next game we're playing here. Australia. Is that today or tomorrow? All right? Oh my God. White man talking racial. Holy crap. What did I stumble? No, I'm not talking racial. I'm saying that this case has nothing to do with race. Okay? People, you gotta listen to me, okay? I know sometimes I get a little bit scattered and so forth, okay? But I try to stay on subject. Sometimes I'm able to accomplish it. All right? But come out 35 years was too much. I don't know who the freak this judge was. I haven't done any research on him, but I gotta tell you, from things that I heard him say, I wouldn't want to go to court in that draw with that judge there. Holy shit. All right. This kid, Carmelo, okay. Should have gave him maybe 10 years, out in 5, something like that there. All right. That would have been fair. But to give him 35 years after hearing the testimony, well, it was the testimony, okay, because the defense did not have many witnesses. They only brought up 6. All right? They didn't. I think this attorney, all right, and this attorney's name It was Mike Howard. He was the lead private counsel representing 19-year-old Karmelow Anthony. All right, during this highly publicized murder trial, which no cameras were allowed. Folks, Texas is not a good place. You get in trouble, you don't want to be in Texas. Trust me, okay? Hello, Magoosh, how are you? Soccer Florida World Cup, yeah. America, our laws are so obsolete, and in every state, this is a state case, not a federal case, and but I don't think this Mike Howard did a great job. All right, um, I think he did a shit job, and the defense was saying that it was a self-defense case. They're very tough to beat, especially in Texas, and I feel bad for this young man. And now they're putting in appeal, or they're trying to. And in the appeal, all right, they're saying that they have no money and they want a court appointed lawyer. Whether he gets that or not, I don't know. Because you got to remember, this judge sees everything that you and I see. Okay? Now, okay? There was an online fundraiser for Karmelow Anthony. You know how much money they raised? $634,000. Now I'm going to tell you something. I deal with a lot of lawyers. I know what fees are. Okay. This lawyer, Mike Howard, I don't know how much he got. If they paid him 100 grand, let's say it was 100 grand, which is normally what a lawyer charges when they go to trial. Okay. And I'm going to say it was 100 grand too much, but let's say it was 100 grand. Let's go high and say it was 200,000. All right. Now, where did the 434,000 other dollars go, folks? Where is that money? You realize it's all within a year? That's an awful lot of money. And now they're crying that they're broke and have no money and can't pay for a lawyer, for an appeal lawyer. This is very, very important, having an appeal lawyer. And appeal lawyers cost more than your defense lawyers. Okay, you know why? They got to go through every single minute, second of what happened in that courtroom. Listen to every single word. And they got to see if the prosecution did something wrong, if the judge did something wrong. Okay. They use to help homeless people. Are you sure about that, Autumn? Because I didn't read that anyplace. Stacy asked, "What am I having for dinner?" I'm gonna tell you what I had. I only ate once today, and I probably won't eat again. I'm not hungry at all. All right, but I had a turkey burger, and I went to Trader Joe's. I was going to buy hamburgers. It was $11.99. I said, "Fuck that," I said. So I got the turkey burgers. They were $6.99. Okay, and there were four in the package. I froze three of them. I cooked one with some eggs and a slice of toast, and that's what I ate. And I had to force myself, and I couldn't eat the whole thing because I'm on this Ozempic. Okay, huh? They bought a house, Mandy, you heard? Hello, Jim Dwyer. Pleasure to meet you. All you new subscribers, let us know that you are new and that you just subscribed so I can give you a yellow, please. All right, we appreciate that there. All right. Uh, but, folks, 35 years is just a long time. Okay. And folks, just hang on one moment. I think I got a piece of paper. What the hell did I do with it? All right. Oh, I didn't print it out. I apologize. This young man is in a prison in Texas, about 60 miles from Houston. He's in a medium facility. And folks, this happened when he was 17 years old. 17. Hmm. Why does life have to be so hard? Because our fucking government makes it hard. They don't want you to have anything because they want to keep it themselves. All right? Don't get me started on that there. Okay? You can see that pisses me off. Okay? But what happened that day in Texas, yes, the juror was correct in their finding. Not a thing that, and this only happens in Texas. And you got to remember, every state is different with their laws. Okay? Normally, after a sentence, you get a month, 2 months before sentencing. This sentencing was done immediately by the same jurors. They had no problem finding him. They determined him getting 35 years. 35 years for a 19-year-old kid for one split second of his life. One single mistake. This kid was not a gangster. He was not involved in gangs. He was a nice young man. He's got no previous record. All right? Hey, course, you want me to stop complaining? All right, you're happy with things? Take course out of here. Okay, Mandy? All right? Well, folks, what do you think? All right, come on. Trump said tomorrow they're going to sign the paper. Why tomorrow? If you already made the deal, you already got the paperwork, why hasn't anybody signed yet? Okay, can we believe? All right. And folks, don't think this is peace deal. This is not a peace deal. This is only a letter, a memorandum of which both sides agree. Okay? Don't think that Trump and the United States won. Okay? Because they didn't win shit. They got themselves into a mess that he should have never did. Never should have started that war February 28th. Okay? And don't think gas prices, if the deal is signed and the Port of Hormuz is open, do not think for one moment that the day after gas prices are going to go down. They might slightly, but don't. They will not go back down to what they were. It's going to take at least 6 months for that to happen. All right? Other brothers, I love listening. Thank you. He's down. I'm too old to be president. I should be. All right, I'm in better shape than Trump. I could tell that right away. Okay? Trump definitely got some problems. So if you've been looking at him like I have, all right, he's got some health problems. Okay, exactly what he's not going to tell us, and his staff's not going to tell us because they don't tell us shit anyways. Okay, isn't it funny how now all the UFO files are opening up and coming out? Okay, why is that? Okay, folks, I hope that there's life on other planets. Damn, I'd like to travel there. Okay, wouldn't you? Is Trump crazy? There's something wrong with him, that's for sure. Okay? Because you can bet your boots, Trump does not know about the laws of the United States. Did you hear him, all right, putting down the Supreme Court judges, the ones that he appointed? See, he put them in expecting that they will vote with everything that he wants. And they've given him a lot, but there's a lot that they have not. All right. And that's pissing him off. He posted on Truth Social. Then he deleted it. But a lot of people had downloaded it by that time. Okay. Hmm. Trump's a criminal. Nah, he's a bad one. Okay. Congress is supposed to approve a war. But Trump started it without the approval of Congress. Okay? Like he does everything else. Puts his name on, all right, the Kennedy Center. Why? Why's he put his name on? That just goes to prove his ego. And now he's got to take it down. Do you know who paid to put his name up there? We did. You know who's got to pay to take it down? We do. All right? Folks, how many of you give a shit about that ballroom that he wants to build? Why does he want to spend billions of dollars on something that he's going to be out? He don't even live in that house in a couple more years. Okay? But he wants to spend $1 billion. And what's he going to put the Trump ballroom? He'll probably name that the Trump ballroom. Okay? He'll probably change the Lincoln room to the Trump room. Why does he do that? He wants to change every street to Trump, to Donald Trump street. Folks, I voted for him. And now I detest the guy. All right? And they're going to come out. You could bet your boots if this memorandum, let's call it what it is, if this deal memorandum gets signed tomorrow, like they're saying, or maybe it's just another stock manipulation that he's done about 40 times, 38, 39 times, something like that there. Okay, we've heard the same thing, so we don't know. All right. Uh, we don't know if it's going to be really signed tomorrow or there's just going to be more bombing. All right. Folks, like, subscribe, share, show me some love. Thank you. Okay. Well, this should get me going, get my energy moving over here today. I really wasn't going to do a show, but I was asked in a TikTok room where I was a guest the other night about the Karmelow Anthony thing. And folks, I got to be honest with you, I did not follow this from the start. But, I told the gentleman who asked that question, I'll do some research on it. And so I did my research and I brought it to you here today. Okay. And I just think, yeah, he was guilty. There's no question that the kid, Anthony Carmelo Anthony, whatever, all right, no question that he was guilty, all right. But the sentence is definitely too harsh. I don't believe Congress either, all right. I don't believe Congress. I don't believe the Senate. Look what you got, a bunch of fucking old people there, okay? I'm old, but I know it. And I let you know, those people, they're making fucking laws for you, not for them. They're robbing you every single day. And you know what? Just like Californians, okay? It's like here in Los Angeles. I'm not in Los Angeles, so, we got our own mayor here in Beverly Hills. So I didn't get to vote for mayor in Los Angeles. I got to vote for governor, okay? Because we're in the same state, all right? But everybody knows what a shit job that Karen Bass has done in Los Angeles. Everybody knows how bad the homeless are. Folks, yes, it's a few miles from here to the pier. It's about 8 to 10 miles. Okay, it's not that far. And folks, I drove Olympic Boulevard all the way down. And all the way down in beautiful areas of town, you'll still see homeless. And then if you watch my show yesterday, you've seen all the homeless in the park there at Santa Monica. Did you see that one person? I thought he was going to come after me. Okay. Thank you, Ivan. You know what? Look, they know for a fact it's recorded. They got videos. Karen Bass and the other person paid the homeless to vote. Only in California could this happen. Okay. Folks, I need ID to get on an airplane. When I go to the VA, I need ID. Okay? If I write a check someplace, I need ID. We all have ID. I hope we do. Okay? We all have it. We all got to use it. But in California, you don't need real ID to vote. Okay? I had to go to the DMV and get real. I had a driver's license, I got a passport, but I had to go get a real ID just like the rest of us. Was that just another way the state could take 35 bucks from us? All right? Agent Orange, that Constitution, these people don't use the Constitution like it should be. Okay? All right? You were the one who was dropping the drugs. What? Thank you, Stacy. You're awesome. How can you say praise Allah? Who's Allah? I don't know who Allah is. Okay? I praise the Lord. All right? You all have a right to praise whoever you want. Okay? I praise the Lord, Jesus Christ, our Savior. You want to praise Allah? That's up to you. That's your religion or whatever it is. Okay? Do it. Mm. Thank you so much. I want to thank that young person, Neil Payton. Thank you. You love some of the knowledge. I hope and it's to you people who grasp some of the things that I say is the only reason I come here. I'm not here like other YouTubers to make a lot of money. I'm a realist. I know I'm not going to make a lot of money here. You know why? I know. Okay. You see these ones that making got a lot of subscribers, make a lot of money. They're on 4 or 5 times a day doing different shows. Folks, I don't have that kind of time. Okay, I still have another life that I gotta live, just like all of you. Nah, boy, we got 68 likes. That's pretty decent here today. Huh? Keep hitting that like button, folks. All right, get me to 100 here. All right, let's do it. All right. No cap, not cap, huh? Hey. Mandy, you're staying busy, all right? The trolls are keeping you busy today, huh? Thank God for Mandy. She keeps them out of here, folks. Give Mandy, give her a good flight, okay? Give Mandy, everybody, clap your hands for her, because she keeps the garbage out of here, all right? So, no, this country became divided when our forefathers came up with a Republican Democrat. That's when our country got divided. It was divided by a bunch of old people 250 years ago. All right. Agent Orange, I'll answer that. Yes. Okay. It's the accidental gangster at gmail.com. All right. Right there. Thank you, Mandy. All right. Our forefathers. Okay. So for some more, going back to Karmelow Anthony. It's a terrible thing that two young men with promising lives ahead of them. Who knows what they could have begun? Okay, what they could have became. All right, what accomplishments that they might have been able to come up with to help this world be a better place. We don't know, and we're never going to know. Okay, but I do pray for this young man, Carmelo Anthony. All right, he's in a minimum security prison. All right, where he shouldn't be. And I pray that he's okay and does the right thing while he's in prison to try to make his better, his life better for when he gets out. And let's hope that he does get the appeal. Let's hope that he wins on some of the things. All right. Maybe his time may get reduced. I've seen people who gotten their time reduced on appeals. Okay, that's happened. Okay. Uh, it happens a lot. Okay. But that question I asked, where's the 440, the third $434,000? The judge is going to ask that same question. okay, before he has the state of Texas pay for an appellate attorney, okay? And for those of you who don't know who I am, never heard of me before, all right, you must be living under a rock. I am Spado, the accidental gangster, author of this best-selling book, The Accidental Gangster, from insurance salesman to Hollywood fixer. Thank you, Agent Orange. I'll look out for that email. Okay. What do I think of the gay community? Well, if you were around, Keith, all right, I filmed the gay parade over here last week in Hollywood. All right. I wish them all the best too. I got nothing against any race, color, religion. I don't get involved in your sex life. Don't get involved in mine. Okay? I don't count your money. Don't count mine. I don't lie to you. Don't lie to me. Okay? I'd rather have you steal my money than lie to me. The people from the Netherlands, one of the happiest places on earth. I was talking about countries, Ruben, that some of the happiest. Netherlands happens to be one of them, the happiest countries on earth. All right. You know why? Because their government really does something for their people. Their government doesn't rob all the money and then tax the people more money because they want more money. That's what our Congress does. That's what our Senate does, whether it's Republican or Democrats. So I don't care what side of the aisle you are on. Remember, there's no difference. They're both crooks. All right? I need a classy lady. Yeah. Well, I need something, folks. Okay? Here it is. It's 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. The sun is shining. People are out on the street here in Beverly Hills. And I'm here talking to you. Yesterday, I went down to the pier. You know why I went? I didn't want to. But I promised the people the day before that I would go down to the pier and film and show everybody and take them on the tour. Okay? You know why I did it, folks? I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't want to get in the car and drive down there. I did it because I promised, because I said it. See, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. All right? I'm not like other people. I don't say I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. I'm thinking about once I say I will do it, it's done. You can go to the bank with that because I keep my word. And if you learn nothing else from me at all, learn to keep your word. Because at the end of the day, when you're gone, you're buried, and they put that headstone up, all right? Make sure people are talking good about you and not bad, okay? Respect. if you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, teach your children what respect is. Okay? You know, folks, I'm a blessed man because I got 3 children. I got 6 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. Folks, they are all respectful. They all began reading when they were around 2 or 3 years old. You know why? Because the mother read to them. All right? The mother spent time with her children. The mother and the father. We don't have that in this world, folks. You bet you Neil got a whooping. He was raised by his grandparents. The way it should be. Okay? But today, you spank a child, you end up in court. Yeah. All right. Parents calling you. Let's say your name's Tony. Hey, Tony. Hello, Helen. What? That's mom and dad. That's mom and dad. Show respect. A lot of things I'm upset about in this world. Okay? And it's what people are not teaching their children. All right? So, folks, as usual, I always tell you do something kind for others. I guarantee you it'll come back to you tenfold. All right? Thank you all for coming. All my love and respect to you, or Spado.